Hoissen has been working at Harvard and come to this conclusion that we are in the midst of the demise of news. So I invite you to pay attention to this talk because I think it's the precursor to your challenge tomorrow. Do we have him teed up over there? All right, take it away.
Thank you. Okay, my name is Hoissen. I was born and raised in Iran. I ended up in prison for 6 years from 2008 to 2014 because of my blog. That was an introduction. What is special about this picture? And? Yes, the hat is very important. We are experiencing the demise of news, not journalism. In many ways, the weekday circulation of US newspapers, online and offline, digital and print, has come down to 35 million, which is the figure that used to be in 1945, despite the rise of population, almost for tripling of the US population. Jobs have also decreased 40% from 2006 to 2016 in the course of 10 years. So the demise of the news industry is real, and we all deeply are aware of this, even if we don't acknowledge it publicly. But there is something fundamentally wrong about this industry. So what is the problem? Everybody's talking about maybe it's business, maybe it's business models, maybe it's the quality of news, or maybe it's the ethics. But I'm going to argue something completely different, which I think is the elephant in the dark. And that is that news has lost its relevance for the young people in the middle class. It's not trendy like hats anymore. They suddenly stopped wearing hats, people. They had functions, hats were useful, were trendy, and that has stopped at some point. So, the definition of news is important because I define news as a word-based, time-dependent, professionally produced by news organizations piece, which is so word-based, as I said. So two main functions that are lost now. One is globalism. News used to give people from the middle class a sense of globalness that is now gone because people are exposed to many other sources of that thing. And also, the whole idea of globalism is also in decline. People are not interested in being global anymore. That's why you see the rise of religion, ethnic prejudices, local markets, local beer, local breweries, local products, and even local news, which is not what you would think, you would probably think that it's news about municipalities and that kind of stuff, but it's actually what Facebook defines local news, which is updates about your friends and family. Another function was drama. Drama is also taken from news. News had the monopoly as a source of drama. And that's not true anymore. There is Netflix, there is cinema, there are many other things that news does not provide is not the single source of drama anymore. Then the idea of time is very important because time is disentangled from news. On the one hand, you have short bursts of updates and notifications or tweets that are not produced by news organizations. They are produced by newsmakers themselves or the fire departments or politicians and all that. And then you have long-form stuff that could be published anytime, anywhere. So the larger picture of all this is post-Enlightenment. We've entered an era that is dominated by visuals, images instead of text, and by emotions instead of rationality. So the future of journalism is going to happen within this larger framework, which is going to be not about news. News used to be the heart of journalism, but it's not going to be anymore. So what would be the future of journalism? My analysis and guess is that there are two paths for the future of journalism. One is literature, which is already happening. Long-form investigative pieces that could be published after many years in the form of books even. They're not even necessarily supposed to be published as in newspapers or magazines. They could be published as books, and there are really good examples for that. And the second is cinema, which is already happening on Netflix and documentary films, and this rise of long-form visual depiction of narratives and stories, which is probably more popular among the middle class and working class, whereas the literature part is for the upper class who still manage to have some time to read. So this is the article where I explain all this. I unwrapped this in a long-form sort of piece. It's on Medium. I would love you to read it and give me feedback about it. And tomorrow, actually, we can discuss this. And so that's it, I think. Thank you.